Brought to you by DK Audio.
The Secret Explorers and the Sunken Treasure by S.J. King. Read by Aysha. Chapter 1. Rock Pool to Roll Call. Connor held his breath and tried to keep still as he watched the monsters in front of his eyes. Beasts with snappy claws hid among the rocks as jelly blobs waved their tentacled arms, and red, star-shaped creatures travelled on sticky feet. Connor wasn't scared, though. In fact, he was far from it. He was in his element, face down in a rock pool. If he had gills, he'd have stayed there all day. He planned to spend his whole holiday getting to know California's sea life. Eventually, he came up for air and heard his mum calling him from the beach. She was getting a picnic out of the cool box. Time for lunch. As Connor gathered his net and bucket, something caught his eye, a tiny animal trapped in the seaweed. He removed it carefully and lay it on his palm. It wasn't a creature at all, but a small plastic figure with an eye patch and a beard, like an old pirate. How strange. Connor never liked to remove things from the beach, but this definitely didn't belong there. He clutched it in his fist and scrambled over the rocks to join his mum. "Look what I found!" "Don't tell me," his mother said, passing him a sandwich. "A shell? An interesting rock? A dead crab?" "No," Connor laughed. "This." He passed her the toy character, and she turned it over in her hand. "Oh, this could have come from the cargo ship accident," his mother said. "The ship was carrying boxes of toys when it hit bad weather. It tipped to one side, and several boxes fell into the sea. It was years ago now, but to this day the toys are still washing up on the shore. Hunting them has become quite a hobby." "This is one of the toys from that ship?" "Could be. It's fun to think so, isn't it?" Connor nodded and smiled, but inside he was worried by the story. Plastic took 450 years to decompose, and it was a real danger to animals in the ocean. He looked back at the rock pools, wondering if more toys had washed up there. And that's when he saw a bright, silvery flash. What was it? Was it a fish out of water? "Back in a minute, Mum." Connor gulped his sandwich and ran. But it wasn't a fish. It was a small glowing disc, marked with compass points, north, east, south, and west. This could only mean one thing. "Yes!" Connor cheered. At the same time, a wall of sea spray washed over the rocks in front of him and hung there in the air, glistening like a crystal curtain. Connor wondered if he should tell his mum, but then he remembered. When he was called to explore, time stood still. She wouldn't miss him for a second. As he walked into the tingling spray, there was a zap and a flash of bright light. When it faded, Connor opened his eyes and blinked. The sticky Californian heat was gone, along with the beach and the rock pools. He was now in a cool room, humming with computers and screens. "The exploration station!" he exclaimed. "Am I glad to see you!" The walls were lined with glass cases, displaying expedition treasures, such as lava rock and meteorites, ancient quills and cockle shells, and insect husks and dinosaur eggs. On the domed ceiling was a picture of the Milky Way, and on the floor was a giant map of the world. This was the headquarters of the Secret Explorers, chosen for their knowledge, curiosity, and teamwork. There were 8 of them in total, and it looked as if Connor, the ocean's explorer, was the first to arrive. "Here," Connor called, starting the roll call. Here! Roshni, the astronomy explorer, appeared in a puff of cosmic cloud. Here! Said Ollie, arriving with a large purple flower in his red hair, which wasn't unusual for the rainforest explorer. Here! Said Leah. The biology explorer quickly inspected Ollie's flower for bugs. Here! Here! Cheng, the geology explorer, and Gustavo, the history explorer, arrived together. Cheng's dark hair was covered in limestone dust, and Gustavo brushed it carefully with his archaeology brush. Here! Said Kiki. The engineering expert had a pencil tucked behind her ear. What's going on? We won't know until we're all here, said Connor. Where is Tamiko? Here!
Sample complete. Ready to continue?